What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Let's Get It Gaming Daily News with your boy Joe. We have 5 stories on the list for Monday, June 3rd, 2024. All of which I find moderately interesting, but not nearly as interesting as they could be. So let's jump in to story number 1. This comes from IGN's Taylor Lies. Sony announces PlayStation VR2 PC adapter for August. Sony is releasing an adapter on August 7th, 2024, which allows PlayStation VR virtual reality headset to work on PC. After announcing incoming PC support for headsets in February, a PlayStation blog post today confirmed the adapter will be available for $59.99 on the August date. The adapter connects to the single USB-C connector found on the PSVR2 and allows owners to play PC VR games like Half-Life Alyx without a previous required PC VR headset like Valve Index or MetaQuest. The adapter doesn't come with everything required to plug and play, however, as players will also need to purchase a DisplayPort capable compatibility with DisplayPort 1.0 and most obviously a VR-ready gaming PC. A Steam account is required to play Steam VR games too. The minimum requirements for a PSVR2 headset to run on PC were also shared and can be seen below, but Sony didn't provide word on recommended or high requirements. An Intel Core i5-7600 equivalent processor, a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650 or equivalent graphics card, and 8 gigabytes of RAM are required at the very least. Due to the PSVR 2 being designed specifically for the PlayStation 5, Sony offered a disclaimer that users who wish to buy the adapter will notice that some key features such as HDR, headset feedback, eye tracking, and adaptive triggers are not available when playing on PC. However, some high fidelity and sensor immersion features on PSVR 2, such as 110 degrees field of view, finger touch direct detection, see-through view, and 4K resolution will be available. The announcement comes a few days after Sony filed an adapter for certification with South Korea National Radio Research Agency. I just threw this in there because it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie, to get it to work on PC. But with that being said, I am kind of glad it's going to be working on PC because for the love of God, they are not supporting this system at all. Or at least it doesn't seem that way, and at least you'll have the ability to play more VR games on a quality headset. Granted, you're going to lose some of the capabilities, which entirely makes sense because of if the PC game isn't designed for, with the basis of the eye tracking and the other everything else that it says might not work. It's due essentially just because the PC games weren't meant to be on the PSVR 2, or the PSVR 2 wasn't meant for PC games originally. But either way, I'm glad they are coming up with this adapter. If you guys want to spend the money on it, it's cool. You might make it a little, at least it'll give you a bigger variety of games to play. You might lose some stuff here and there, but for the most part, I think it's cool. I'm glad they're kind of expanding into the PC realm. For the most part, I think it is making their portfolio at least have a little more quality when it comes to VR2. But let's jump into story number 2. This comes from IGN's Ryan Dinsdale. Naughty Dog will not be the Last of Us studio forever as it works on multiple single-player projects, Neil Druckmann says. The Last of Us and Uncharted developer Naughty Dog has multiple single-player projects in the works, studio head Neil Druckmann has said. Speaking to the Los Angeles Times, Druckmann didn't mention what the projects the PlayStation Studio was working on or if any had entered full development, but did suggest it was looking to break away from being predominantly associated with The Last of Us. I promise you we will not be The Last of Us studio forever, Druckmann said. Speaking of Naughty Dog's beloved post-apocalyptic franchise that debuted in 2013 and received its Part 2 sequel in 2020, the studio is otherwise best known for creating the Uncharted franchise, though this was put to bed with the 2016's Uncharted 4: A Thief's End and smaller follow-up The Lost Legacy a year later. And quote, as that said from Druckmann, I promise you we will not be the Last of Us studio forever. Naughty Dog hasn't released a game since The Last of Us Part 2, beyond remasters, remakes, and collections, and while the studio confirmed it had decided on its next major title in March 2023, nothing is known about it externally. Druckmann's comments suggest it may not be a new Last of Us game. However, it had if he certain Naughty Dog won't be predominantly known for the franchise in the future. It's also entirely possible that The Last of Us is just one of these multiple single-player projects in the works at Naughty Dog. Only time will tell. Druckmann didn't say these projects were in development either, but simply being worked on, meaning several, if not all, could still be in early conceptual phases and far from being worked on proper. Never mind release projects. This early development are also regularly canceled or drastically changed. I put this in here because I am dying to know what Naughty Dog is working on. I am dying to see what they have to offer. I love The Last of Us, but I would love to see a new IP from them as well. And the fact that he has pretty much confirmed, which they in the previously they did confirm there was multiple single player games, but the fact that even Neil Druckmann now is saying there is definitely 2 single player games we are working on makes me even more hyped. And God, do I wish we would get something at SGF this week. I really, really wish we do, but I know we won't. But my hopes are still high for everything Naughty Dog tends to put out in the near future. With that, let's jump into story number 3. This comes from IGN's Rebecca Valentine. Here's what we know what won't be at Summer Games Fest. The first countdown to the week of game announcements, trailers, updates, in-person activities in Los Angeles and general shenanigans upon us. One of the major linchpins holding it all together is Summer Games Fest, a showcase put together by Jeff Keighley with the aim of uniting the game industry around a summertime shebang of video game news, but as he does every year before this and other hosted events like Gamescom, Opening Night Live, and Games Awards, Keighley is trying to temper with fan expectations by clarifying some of the things that we'll absolutely not see at Summer Games Fest on Friday. In a live question and answer session hosted on Twitch over the weekend, Keighley answered some burning questions from fans about the upcoming showcase, including long list of not just of what we should expect to see on Friday, but also what we shouldn't. As far as what we will be there, Keighley confirmed we'll see plenty of updates on existing games such as Pal World and Kingdom Come 2, Deliverance. We'll also see trailers for already announced games, including Supermarket Simulator, Monster Hunter Wilds, Metaphor, Refantazio, Batman Arkham VR, and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. He also confirmed we'll be getting something from Blumhouse Games and a new trailer for the Among Us animated series, but in an interest of keeping surprises to himself, it's no surprise that the list of what won't be there is a bit longer. No new GTA6 trailer, no Kingdom Hearts 4, no Wolf Among Us 2, no Def Jam game, no Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, no Judas, no Beyond Good and Evil 2, no Five Nights at Freddy's, no Hollow Knight, Silksong, probably no Nintendo games, no Music X, no Jose Fairs, no One More Thing. So this is somewhat upsetting. I really was looking forward to a lot of hopefully I was looking forward to a lot of world premieres, but it doesn't sound like we're going to get many, especially the Not One More Thing. Now, I suppose he could be lying, or not lying, but just trying to tamper expectations, as it says in here, and maybe we'll get One More Thing as a bigger surprise, but then he kind of shoots himself in his own foot for any future conferences he does. But either way, maybe we'll get some interesting surprises. It's kind of lame. I wasn't really expecting a GTA 6, anything GTA 6, obviously not Nintendo. They don't ever show up to these things. But Wolf Among Us 2, I was kind of hoping would be there. It's unfortunate because I do want to play the first one on the channel, and I really enjoyed Tales from the Borderlands series. So it is what it is. Hopefully we'll get these announcements sooner than later. I mean, it's kind of been, I guess, a lackluster year for games, more or less, or at least not any heavy announcements. But as disappointing as this year, not disappointing, that's a little harsh, as lackluster as this year might have been, that could only mean next year is going to be top tier with GTA 6 coming out. Hopefully we get some Wolf Among Us news. Hopefully we'll get some Naughty Dog news. Hopefully we just get plenty of major announcements in the coming year. But until then, let's jump into story number 4. This comes from GameSpot's Claire Lewis. Just Cause developer closing 2 studios, including one that's only been open since October. Just Cause developer Avalanche Studios Group is shutting 2 studios and, as a result, is laying off roughly 9% of its overall workforce, according to a statement on its website. Avalanche is the latest developer to announce studio closures and staff layoffs in a year that's seen thousands of layoffs in the gaming industry. Since its inception over 2 decades ago, Avalanche Studios Group has grown to encompass 5 locations worldwide: Stockholm, New York, Malmo, Liverpool, and Montreal. Today, we regretfully announced the closure of 2 of those locations, New York and Montreal. The statement reads, "This means we'll be parting ways with around 50 valued friends and colleagues, which represented roughly 9% of Avalanche's work worldwide." The closure of the Montreal location is especially surprising given the fact that the studio has only been open for about 8 months, first opening its doors in October 2023. On Twitter, current and former Avalanche employees are mourning the decision, including Christoph Somberg, creator of Just Cause franchise and founder of Avalanche's headquarters in Stockholm, Sweden. Soundberg left Avalanche in February 2019. Avalanche New York City was the best emotional and learning journeys ever. I am very saddened to see this awesome team gone. I will share some stories to honor the team and celebrate what we did. Avalanche recently entered a collective bargaining agreement, CBA, with the Swedish employee who unionized its in the hopes of establishing standardized frameworks around essential areas such as salaries, benefits, employee influence, and career support. This is an exceptional, difficult decision, but we believe it is necessary to ensure a stable and sustainable future for the company. Avalanche's statement regarding the closure of the Montreal and New York studios added, "Our focus is now on supporting all Avalanche through this challenging time. We're grateful for the invaluable contributions of those leaving and remain committed to creating incredible gaming experiences for our players." Avalanche is currently working on a new game called Contraband, which it describes as a co-op smuggler paradise set in a fictional world in 1970s Bayonne. Little is known about the project, including its release, but we do know Contraband will be available on Game Pass at launch. That's unfortunate. These studio closures just keep coming left and right. As I've said in past videos, it's unfortunate how these happen, but hopefully it gives these developers, whether they really probably don't want it, but it does give them the opportunity to explore other opportunities and maybe join other development studios down the line and expand their portfolio and give them a broader option of trying new things and experiencing new things. So we got to try and look at the glass half full at the very least during all these layoffs times. As hard as it is always a better opportunity for someone, and there's always more out there for people to chase. So with that being said, let's jump into our 5th and final story. This comes from Insider Gaming. Anthony Fortino. Nintendo's codename Spiral may be Splatoon 4, it's claimed. According to a new post on Twitter X from reliable leaker MBKKSTBH75Z5, Nintendo may have the next Splatoon project in the works under codename Spiral. The leaker explains that after researching the data I have received in the last month, the project, very likely the next Splatoon installment, had no further details about the game. Notably, the leaker also mentioned that we'll have to be careful now with Nintendo information, so they may not offer many more updates about Spiral. That Twitter user has reported a variety of key leaks, such as Sega's upcoming projects from Jet Set Radio to Crazy Taxi. Recently, the leaker also supported claims about potential Sonic Frontier sequel. For now, Splatoon fans can now enjoy the new Sizzle Season 2024. This update adds new weapons, stages, and gear. That will also be a Summer Nights Splatfest event, and Ultra Stamp Festival, and more. Nintendo recently confirmed that the new Direct Showcase is coming in June, though it won't be a platform for the Switch 2 announcement. It's intended to cover a lineup of Switch games for the second half of 2024, so Nintendo may now not confirm anything about codename Spiral or Splatoon during that event. Alright, I just want to put that in there because I know there's a big fan base for Splatoon. I've never played it personally, but I know a lot of people love it. Maybe you'll get some reveals at the Nintendo thing if we're lucky, for those of you who want to see more of it. But that is going to do it for this episode of the Let's Get It Gaming Daily News. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you are, hit that like button, give me that subscribe, hit that little notification so you know when the next video comes out. I do apologize if I was a little lackluster this episode. I am pretty tired. I don't know why. It was a little bit of a struggle to get through this one. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But, you know, it is what it is. We got to keep grinding. We got to keep putting these videos out. We got to keep building this awesome community. No matter how tired I get, I will continue to grind videos out for you guys because I love doing it. And I'm having a lot of fun, and I love watching the channel grow. And I am looking forward to some new videos that are going to be coming up soon. I have a lot of ideas, and I'm implementing a couple of them in the near future, so you could hang around and look forward to that. But until then, thank you all for watching. And remember, I love you, I appreciate you, and I respect you. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. And keep on gaming. Peace.